Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. So, Vechain is doing pretty well the last few days, up to about 16 cents now. And part of the reason is because the market's just high right now. Part of the reason I think it might be because of these sustainability goals that Vechain is developing. They're getting some national adoption because they are delivering UN SDGs, and SDGs stands for Sustainable Development Goals. We all know that they appointed ex-Deloitte Global Blockchain CTO Antonio Senatore as head of technology for UN Sustainable Development Goals. So they're actually like delivering these SDGs for the UN, and that's why countries are looking at to adopting them. So obviously people are excited about that. They launched in October 2018 the first digital carbon ecosystem project, and signing ceremony of which was done under the witness of His Majesty King Harold and Her Majesty Queen Sonia of Norway. I mean, VeChain's done a lot in Norway with salmon and everything else as well. Since then, the VeChain Foundation has worked on multiple carbon related projects across the EU and China and provided enterprises with blockchain enabled sustainability solutions. As one of the most eco friendly public blockchains, the VeChain Tor is committed to helping global enterprises and governments achieve Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, efficiently, quickly, and at low cost. In pursuit of this vision and mission, we are happy to announce that as of October 26, 2021, Mr. Antonio Senari has officially joined the VeChain Foundation as head of technology for SDGs, so more Deloitte connections, and it solidifies their UN Sustainable Development Goals, with the immediate goal of building VeChain's technical force focused on delivering SDGs and related ecosystems. This is from vechain.org itself. So, this is a great big step for VeChain, delivering UN SDGs. And of course, national adoption, regardless if the country's big or small, is a big deal because, a lot of countries, especially around the world with the Paris Accord and everything else, by the way, as the United States has signed back on, um, are actually adopting these sustainable development goals, and they're going to use certain technologies. VeChain going to be the technology for obviously a lot of Asia, especially China, and and a lot of Europe. I think a lot of like the Nordic countries are already using VeChain, and countries like Italy are for sure going to use VeChain. It's the other countries like France, Germany, UK. We don't really quite know like what they're going to be using, and of course, like with everything else, like they're going to fall in line sooner or later because they're part of these sustainable development goals as well. I do believe that most of Europe is probably going to end up using VeChain for these SDGs. I'm not exactly sure how big these are. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of other technologies involved in these sustainability goals, so it's not like sustainability green, VeChain covers everything. But there's going to be a lot of companies actually involved in this. But VeChain is going to take center stage, and it's going to be a big part of this based on actually what's going on right now. I think like all this will start in the Nordic countries. It'll head to like Geneva. China's obviously using it, but China with this massive population, they're going to use VeChain to track, and I think they are already using VeChain to track all this stuff. But the thing is like their sustainability goals are a little bit more off in the future. And it's going to be hard for them to cut pollution down because basically China and India, it's going to be really hard for them to cut pollution down because of their massive population and the demands of that massive population. It's basically like America, but like like four times the people. The thing is, like in America, like per person, we actually use more energy than anyone else, pretty much anywhere else in the world, discounting like city states. But since they have 4 to 5 times more people as a country, they actually use more energy. If America had 1.5 billion people, our energy usage would be off the charts. Just think of like the food waste and everything else that is in America. We just don't have as many people, so we don't need quite as many resources. And plus, the U.S. does actually have more resources than a country like China, which has exploited them throughout the centuries because China is a much older country than the United States. Like historically, I'm not talking about the current administration that's only been in place since 49, but like historically, it's a much older country. Same thing with India. Those resources have been exploited to the max, whereas the United States is a fairly young country historically, only in 1776. There were Native Americans before then, but the population was fairly small, and they didn't really exploit the resources like the rest of the world does. So the thing is, like the sustainability goals are going to be like widespread around the world, and it looks like VeChain is one of the underlying technologies that's really coming forth. Very good news for VeChain. I hope it keeps on bringing the price up. We've been hoping for a VeChain price rise for a while, and I'm hoping that the price will continue to rise throughout the rest of this month, reaching an all-time high soon. The thing is that we'd still need Bitcoin to rise, but even with Bitcoin staying still, we have actually risen from about 11 cents to 16 cents, which is a substantial rise within the last half month. So we'll have to see how this goes. If Vechain breaks off, if Bitcoin breaks off and goes past 65,000 and stays there, I'm pretty sure Vechain will be above 20 cents, probably above 25 cents. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.